Bonjour and welcome to La Forêt podcast. We also have a focus that our students they not only learn the exam specific tips,
I was able to realize that this whole experience was amazing.
they develop, create their communication skills in French as well.
Believe your process that you have come this far. There is a reason that you have come this far. No one can easily reach that level. It's when you reach that level you feel अरे ये तो मैंने कर लिया. It's okay. ये तो हो जाता है सबसे लेकिन वो नहीं होता सबसे.
And can you tell about your current status with the French language?
Who has a child in third grade, but he is learning French. So he called me just to know the certain pronunciation. So I was feeling so proud that I have become a teacher now, and I'm teaching a very young kid and helping him out in French pronunciation. So small achievements were like worth it.
What was your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it?
It was a roller coaster, of course, as I said earlier, but it was all worth it because when I see my result and when I put it for my immigration purposes, I feel proud of myself that I did it.
Okay, and about maintaining your sanity,
Maintaining my sanity, yeah. I did go crazy.
which study method worked best for you?
Every author has different patterns. So you yourself are the author in your exam, then why not have your own pattern?
I do tell my students that it is learning French is going to be like having a relationship. You have to be involved in this relationship.
Completely, yeah.
But
Regularity is necessary and focus is first thing. It's a hard truth, but it's the truth. You have to be regular.
bonjour and welcome to La Forêt podcast, a podcast where we celebrate dedication, success, and French language studies. Today we have a very special guest who is also close to my heart. I welcome Jhanavi, one of our successful students who recently gave the TCF exam and cleared it with amazing marks. I welcome you, Jhanavi, to the podcast.
Thank you, Vibha ma'am, for this opportunity. And I literally feel obliged because this is the first time we're doing podcast and I'm the first person. So it's the best opportunity I ever had.
There could be no other guest who would be better for this.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, so to start with, I want to know about your journey of French language, giving the TCF exam, getting your results, and now.
So basically, to begin with, it's like it was a roller coaster, of course. There weren't rainbows all the time. There were days where I feel gloomy and I was not able to concentrate. I was feeling that I was not able to do enough practice or I was not able to give my 100%. But thanks to you, Aarti ma'am and Kavita ma'am, who were always there to motivate me each and every day. Surely, TCF exam was a motto to achieve my goal to return to Canada, of course. But other than that, I would say French language itself was necessary for my career because being a supply chain specialist, it was necessary to communicate with francophones. So this was another reason why I decided to start French language. And the reason and this sole reason helped me to overcome each and every challenge every day and gave me a reason to follow my dream and to follow the goal despite all the problems.
Okay, can you tell a little about your problems?
Okay, so the biggest problem was returning from Canada back was the biggest challenge because after spending 5 whole years there with all the timetable change, schedule change, being busy in our work schedules rather than just focusing on studies itself, it's a big challenge. After working for almost like 3 to 4 years, when I had to come back and study a different language, it was a big challenge, of course, because it is always said when you learn language at younger age, it's easier than at in your 20s or let's say 30s, but I had to do it. So I made up my mind that I don't have any other option. So no matter whatever comes, I'll just face it and start learning French. So the biggest problem was I was not able to concentrate initially because in Canada I used to keep myself busy in my work, which I loved it. This language initially I did not like it because I was supposed to do it. I wasn't like I wasn't doing that thing by myself, by my own feeling or my own emotions. I was forced to do it, and no person does well when you are asked to do certain things. No one does. So I had the same issue, but eventually, with all the guidance and making up my mind that I have to do it no matter what, I was able to face the challenge that okay, I have to force myself to just learn it. But by the passage of time, I was starting to like the language with all the different ways of learning or adopting different strategies or different mottos.
Okay. And can you tell about your current status with the French language?
Like currently, for sure, I love French language now because now I'm able to understand, right? Initially, when you start from A for apple, you're not going to like it because just people, whatever people are saying, you're not able to understand. And you feel overwhelmed, like when I'll be able to learn this many sentences, when I'll be able to learn the verbs, the synonyms, the vocabulary, and any language is like completely vast. You cannot learn it in like 6 months, 7 months, 12 months. You are learning every day. Even today, after giving TCF exam, even today, when I listen to any podcast, let's say, or I'm listening to YouTube videos or reading a newspaper, I still learn new vocabulary. So, language is always such. Even today, if you are asked a Hindi speaking person, or let's say Gujarati speaking person, to give a test for Gujarati or Hindi, he or she wouldn't know how to successfully pass it. So, same is like English or French language. You learn every day, but at least now when you are able to cope up with the speed of it, or when you are able to understand it, you start liking it because it becomes your habit. So that's how I feel like now I enjoy learning the new vocabulary. It's more like that. Completely different, like when I compare to my first day of learning A1 and today learning new vocab, it's completely different. I do it by my feelings, by my emotions. Like, yeah, I want to know new language and I want to know the new vocab so that I can also be fancy like other French people.
Okay, so just to put it in real timeline, now is December 2020-25. When did you start learning?
So last year, in November and I would say like December start only, I started learning French because when I started learning French with Aarti ma'am, I was still in Canada. So I was still dealing with my issues and like figuring out whether I want to go back and not all those traumas and all returning. But I decided that I'll start learning French in a group. So it was fun. I used to attend evening lectures with ma'am, and discussing the basic levels was fun. No matter the efficiency of each and every student was different, but still I enjoyed it because the peer pressure and peer healthy competition helps you to learn daily, right? After that, when I came back, I was like having one-on-one classes with ma'am, and that did change a lot, of course, because I was able to communicate with her at my efficiency level, at my patience level, and at her patience level. It is completely different. So that was fun, of course, and every day was a new challenge with her because she used to try speak in French with me, and I was like, why you have to speak in French with me? But lately, when I came to B2 level, I understand that those practices are best because she knows it better than I do, of course. So that's what I believe that today, after when I gave my exam, it was like I think so 10th or 11th month. But now, after a year, I feel that whatever practice was given, or services was given to me, and whatever practices I practiced was worth it.
Okay. So, what would you say? Which study method worked best for you, individual or group? Because you did both of them.
Yes, I did both of them, but to be frank, it also depends on the person. If you thrive in group, join group classes. If you want like a specific person one-on-one classes, do it that way. But make sure that you have your basics clear. Because some people are like, for example, I learned my basics with one-on-one teaching, but when it came nearer to exams, I was preferring to do the practice in group because I was able to learn from other people's mistakes too. I was able to get new ideas. I was able to use their ideas, modify my ideas. So if you are able to do both the practices, I would say that yes, why not both? But me personally, I feel like basics for me were better to do it one on one because I was able to get it clear in my head what is grammar and what is vocab and etc.
Okay. And for the specific sections of the exam, like reading, writing, listening, or speaking, do you have any specific tools or specific materials that you prefer?
Like as I said, in language it's a vast it's like an ocean. You can use anything which you like. For example, in listening, some people like to listen to podcasts, some people love to watch audios, prefer to watch videos or listen to audios. Do whatever pleases you. I would say, to keep oneself motivated, it is necessary that you choose what you like initially. It's not compulsion that you have to do what is advised. Like, it's not necessary that you have to listen to podcast only, or you have to listen to whatever teacher are teaching only. If you like listening to audiobooks, listen them. It's a good way process. Like, if you like reading instead of reading books, if you like listening books, it's a good thing, because in that way also you're not only listening, you're also knowing new vocabulary. So at the other point, you're also doing your writing practice or your reading practice, let's say for speaking, I would rather advise that you do practice that, not only by yourself but also with someone, because when you make mistake you don't realize them. Either you have to listen to the audio what you said, or either you have to ask some other person who listen to you, who knows the French language. Because if you wouldn't know what mistake you are making in pronunciation, you wouldn't be able to correct it. So I requested my classes that I would prefer to have a peer, or let's say a teacher who is available to just help me out in speaking. And that was the best decision, because even in my speaking extra classes, even if we were not practicing for specifically TCF, we were just practicing French, as in daily language. We used to communicate about our daily life. We used to sometimes even communicate about movies or the series we have watched. These are like small gestures or small steps you are taking, but they help you eventually, because when you go and give exam, they also judge you on your confidence. It's not just your language. Obviously they know it, because sometimes people just mug up the words or mug up their answers. The the invigilator is going to figure that out, that you have mugged up that. And in the end, when if they ask you certain things apart from the like curriculum, or apart from related to your daily life, you stun yourself. You're not able to figure out what to say. At that moment they'll realize, okay, you don't know the language, you're just mugging it up. So this affect your scoring, of course, and it's not a good way to present yourself. And technically, according to me, if you're deciding to learn a language, just don't learn it for the exam. Learn it with a scenario that, yes, I want to learn this language because here or there it is going to help me. Not completely, maybe 10%, 20%, 5%. It is going to help me. With that motto, it is going to be very easy to face every hiccup or every obstacle. That's what that's what I think.
Okay. Tell me about your study schedule and your overall learning journey now.
Overall learning journey. So at the start it was difficult to focus, of course, at A1, like remembering numbers. You're also supposed to know your math, because numbers involve math. And then you end up knowing that, oh, there are lots of grammatical scenarios in the same French language, because in English you're like, okay, three grammar sections and you're good with your A1 level maybe in English. But sorry, but in French language it's like, you have to also remember your present, like future proche, and future is different, future anterior is different, and there are lots of grammatical scenarios. So it overwhelmed me, of course, initially. But then Aarti ma'am used to tell me, just take one day at a time, take one grammar portion and just practice it as much as you can. H- for sure, at A1 level you're going to learn 100% of grammar at A1 level, whatever is involved in A1. But that doesn't mean that you have to perfect it in one go. You can learn 100% A1 grammar and be perfect in 80%, because that grammar is going to be with you until the B2 level. It's going to follow you until B2, of course. So let's say if I've started one section today, I'll make sure that I'm perfecting it until next week. So making it scheduled that by the end of this week, if I'm following the rules, practicing it daily, maybe for 15 minutes, because taking doing grammar exercises just takes 15 minutes. You can invest in grammatical books even online. Today is like digital era. You can search your grammar exercise and you'll get it with the answers. So even if you're giving 10 minutes of grammar, you'll learn that section by the end of the week, and it's going to be in your muscle. It's going to be your muscle memory, so you're not going to forget it. So I would say that let's say I took grammar subject today. Next day I'm making sure that I'm giving 100% to listening. The third day I'm giving 100% to reading. But this is the first start of it, like A1, just A1, because at that time, if you're not doing all the sections together, it is okay because it's still your learning stage. Eventually, when you reach B1, let's say B2, it's necessary that you practice each and every section every day, because at that level, obviously the difficulty is more. You require to be more efficient, you require to be more accurate about it, rather than just perfect, just be accurate whatever you are doing. So by the end of the B1, I was making sure that I'm practicing each and every section every day. And thanks to Arti ma'am, when I started A1, even if it was like 4 lines, I used to write every day, no matter what topic. Let's say I was just writing about any food related topic, I'm writing about any trips, or when we were discussing any cosmopolitan subject or cosmopolitan lesson, I'm supposed to write that topic at home, compulsory. So thanks to that, I was able to complete even TCF 3 sections very easily, because from the first I was having that speed of writing. So from day one, I would say that just take it slow, but make sure that by the B1 or B2 you're practicing every day, because at the end you're being judged or you're being examined for each and every section. So that's what I used to do, that initially just make a schedule which sufficed my mental level, because it's necessary that you maintain your sanity, of course. And at the end, just make sure that you're doing practicing every day each section. But yeah, it's possible that some people are not able to give like 3 to 4 hours of a day. That's okay. Let's say that you are able to give 4 hours of a day or 3 hours of a day, but make sure that you're completely focused on those 3 hours. You're not distracted.
So not just 3 years, even for someone who is working full time in Canada or in India, it's difficult to get 3 hours. So I would say that even 1 hour or 2 hours suffice, as long as you are extremely focused during that time.
Yes, for sure. If as long as you're extremely focused, then yes, 2 hours or 1 hour will also suffice. But still, I would say that even in Canada, you are able to find out 2 or 3 hours in a day. You're not that busy because there is almost all like 6 months of snow. What are you doing in snow? You're not doing anything.
Well,
Yeah,
that's new for me because the students, I mean, of course,
I
there
know, I
are
get
some
it.
students.
Yeah, I get it, because you have daily chores, you have to do this, you have to do that, then you also need your me time and etc. But yeah, just 2 hours, then take it like focused on it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. And about maintaining your sanity.
Maintaining my sanity, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I did go crazy in certain, like during certain months, and I used to irritate Madam Vibha and call her that I don't know what am I doing. I have no idea whether I'm progressing, I'm not progressing. I had no clue, because sometimes what used to happen is that if I'm doing the listening section, I'm not able to understand the audios, and then those are the silliest audios. Anyone could get it. I'm doing the reading sections and I'm just confused between two options. I'm asking Vibha ma'am, then we both are confused now because even I'm confusing her. And then in speaking, I am not able to find the vocabulary. And in writing, I feel like I'm repetitive. I'm making the same mistakes. So during those scenarios, I used to get best advice from you. That is, just take a break and do take a light day. Like for example, if my today's listening is not good, then the next day my listening is light. I'm not touching listening for a day, just to give it a break to my ears, that I know I can do it, just so to maintain the sanity, that I know the listening, I'll give it a break. Then about writing, I used to write every day, even 3 sections I used to write every day. So at the moment I felt like no, I'm not progressing, so I used to take a break from writing. Same with the other 2 sections. So I believe that it's necessary that you take break, and make sure that you don't self doubt yourself, that you have come this far. Let's say you are at B2 level now and you have cleared all your exams and you're at B2 level, but just because your progress is slow, you're not able to determine like whether I'm progressing or not. Then at that time, like, it's necessary that you take your pause and like believe your process, that you have come this far. There is a reason that you have come this far. No one can easily reach that level. It's when you reach that level, you feel अरे ये तो मैंने कर लिया, it's okay, ये तो हो जाता है सबसे, लेकिन वो नहीं होता सबसे. You need to like motivate yourself, your small achievements. It's necessary. That I learned the hard way, of course, because it was necessary at the end that I need to motivate myself. I was going crazy and I was feeling that I wouldn't be able to clear, but God's grace, I cleared it. But yes, that's how I would say that take break. It's okay to take break. No one is perfect in one day. It comes with a slow process, slow months and every day. And make sure that whenever you make mistake, you take it as an opportunity. Even in French language, I remember in Cosmopolis, there is a chapter regarding this, that even if you'll make mistake while learning language, it's okay. You are taking that mistake as an opportunity.
And just for the information of viewers, Janvi cleared her DELF B2 in the 6th month.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So in the 6th month, she had cleared the DELF B2 exam. So it was in the by the end that she was getting crazy. Okay, so
Yeah.
do not take the breaks as something which you should take in A1 as well. I do not recommend taking a break in A1. In A1 A2 level, my personal recommendation is for the students to really work on it, be regular, practice daily, maybe if your weekends are off, maybe rest for that day, but do not take long breaks, not at all, at least during the A1 A2 levels.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if you decide that okay, I'll do it today, and then one week you're not practicing, it is going to be horrible for you. After B2, you can think about that. That yes, I can take a break now. But for A1, A2 level, it's necessary that you have the habit of practicing at least for 1 hour. It's compulsion. Unless and until you become almost perfect in B2, then only you can start taking breaks and giving yourself okay some motivation that yeah, I know this much, I have that positivity in my head that I would be able to clear it even after 1 week if I'll start. When you have that faith in yourself, at that time if you take those breaks, it's normal, it's okay. That's true what you said.
Yeah. So about staying motivated and small wins, what were some of the ways you stayed motivated?
So the first motivation was you and Arti ma'am. I used to talk with you and Arti ma'am. The second motivation was I used to remember the day one of myself, like starting day one, starting A1, day one. So I used to see my old books when I started A, B, C, and now at this state when I'm writing whole sentences, I'm writing big comprehension, and I'm able to read everything and listening. So those were my motivation part. I used to tell myself if I can learn from A to this level, obviously I can clear it. That's how I used to keep myself motivated. If अगर मैंने इतना कर लिया है, तो ये तो इतना ही बाकी है. That's how I used to tell myself कि ये तो इतना ही है, this many months. Obviously each and everyone, like people, there are lots of people right now who are in my shoe, that they'll have to return or they'll have to do the French because they're supposed to. At that moment you always need someone to tell you that it's okay. It's okay to start a new thing in your life at even 25 or 26 or let's say 22 or 27. It's okay to do that. Many people start learning certain things or certain skills at 30s, at their 30s or at their 40s. How did they do that? Because they would wish to do it. So when I started thinking French as my wish to do it, because it is going to increase my opportunity in sense of supply chain specialist, or it is going to give me better opportunities in my career and I can apply at any even Europe places. So those were the small motivation tips I used to keep in my head कि हाँ ये हो गया तो उसके बाद क्या पॉजिटिविटी आएगी, like what advantages I'm going to get it. So those are the small things, but they do make a huge difference, like eventually. Yes.
Okay, that's nice to know. And can you tell me about your study schedule?
Study schedule. So I used to initially from A1 to B1. In morning I used to do reading first, because after eating in the noon you cannot do reading. It's like okay, it depends on person also, but for me it was impossible because I used to feel sleepy, and it's very easy to feel sleepy. So I used to do reading and listening in the morning with the fresh mind, because then those things used to be in my head for long. Then for a few hours that in the noon, I used to do the writing and the speaking part. That's how I used to manage it in the initial stages of learning B1, B2, and giving DELF examination. But then when the exam of TCF came nearer, I everyone knows that how the processes go. Like first half hour is your listening, then you have 1 hour of reading, and then you have 1 hour of writing, and then only 15 minutes of speaking. So when you already know that this is your scenario, this is your going to be your exam schedule, why not practice it that way? So that when I already had my timetable level from my TCF and I knew it at how the TCF works, I started practicing in that manner. That in the morning I'm doing listening first, then I'm doing reading, then I'm writing at the very same hour, and then used to take break and then do speaking practice. So that habit used to stick in my head. So at the exam, on the exam day, it was very easy to follow the process because I'm already practicing myself in the same manner. So it's easy to have that method and habit being inputted in yourself first, and you don't have any element of surprise at that day. Oh, ये तो पहले था, ये मैंने practice पहले reading करा है, फिर listening करा है. It wouldn't be like that. You already know your method, and why not practice it that way? So that's what I used to do. Other than that, people also prefer that they do listening in the night. I wouldn't say okay to that, because sometimes you're not that active at listening section. You're not paying attention to what you're listening, but you're just listening for the sake of it. That's a very bad idea. Just don't do the listening part that way. You need to do it the way you are supposed to be giving the examination, because that way your ears are habituated. So that way you are already active and your reflexes are more heightened at that time, that हाँ ये तो मेरा time ही है listening का. So it's good in that manner.
Yeah, I think that was a very smart strategy, because your center gave you the timetable, I think 1 week before.
Yes, but generally they let you know, you have a gist of it, that this is how it is going to be, because most of the people have already given IELTS or let's say anything else.
Hmm. But yeah, so once you got your schedule, you of your exam, you practice according to your hours only. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Tell me about the role that mock tests played in your, your learning and for exam prep, and whatever you did with these mock tests. Tell the names also, like what mock tests you use, were they helpful or not?
Yeah, so when I started A1, A2, I hadn't decided that I would give TCF or TEF. So, first from that, after watching La Foret's video and realizing what is asked in TEF and TCF, I made a decision that okay, I want to do TCF. Now, the second step was I was going to ask my mentor what are the modules or what are the best sites to practice for the same examination. So, for TCF, it was TCF Formación, and believe you me, it was the best site I ever got, because it has the time accuracy in it. It has it has all the reading comprehension, the way they are asked, the way level they are, the way they have their level of difficulty, even the speaking and the writing sections. They are mirroring the way exam schedules are being, like exam papers are being asking you. They are same to same. So if you are following TCF Formación, it's your best go-to thing, because you can practice listening with that 35 minutes of time clock clicking, and you are listening to the audios the way you are supposed to, and the reading comprehension you again have like 1 hour only in that test. So you are also reading your comprehension and managing your time to complete each and 39 questions, I guess, right? So you have same time for those 39 questions. So you're practicing yourself reading level difficulty the same way exam is going to be taken. Same way as your writing. You have 3 sections in your exam. This year formation has 3 sections in their paper styles. Same as speaking. You have 3 sections. They'll also give you different subjects, different topics, like each and every abstract topic, basic topic, daily life topics. They give you vast, enough various topics to practice every day. If you just take TCF Formación, it is not even that costly, and you can have a subscription of it. Just take it from before a month, and for a month or 1.5 month, let's say, practice that. It's more than enough, because you're going to have that again muscle memory, that you these are the 39 questions. I can make my strategy about reading and complete them in 1 hour. If you already know, if you already have a paper style in your hand, you'll know how to make your own strategy, because every person's strategy is different. you i would I would say that, yeah, you can ask other people who have given TCF and ask their strategy. But in the end, it is you who have to decide that what suits yourself, because every person is different. Yours is different. Mine was like I used to do the difficult question first and then the easy question, because it was easier way to manage the time for me. Other people do it in the manner that, okay, first easy question and then the heavy question. So TCF formation was the best, and the secret is that there is possible that you might get repeated questions. Why not?
Okay, so I want to talk about challenges now because see, every exam has its challenges, difficulties. For the TCF exam, what was your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge was the time and the number of questions asked in within those time, because for 1 hour you have 39 questions to read and answer them, and you have 39 comprehension to read and answer them. It was difficult, of course, because as much as you go ahead in those questions, the difficulty level increases, and then you have that time bomb clicking on your head, like you have to complete those 39 questions in an hour. So the time was the biggest challenge. But practicing, as I said, if you have the TCF formation, you can practice it accordingly. Make your strategy, which I did. I made my strategy that I have to make sure that I'm completing this many questions in 1 hour. Like initially, I was only able to read, let's say, 25 questions. For example, I'm only able to read 25 questions, but I was making sure that those 25 questions have the accuracy. So it's more about gaining marks in when you reach B2, you're cleared DELF B2 examination, and now you're going for TCF. It's more about gaining number of marks rather than just knowing the language, especially in listening and reading. That's what I think. There, at that stage, your accuracy is more important than just completing your test. So even if I was able to do only 25 questions initially, I was making sure that I'm doing all those 25 correctly. Then after a week, let's say, I'm making sure that I'm able to do 30 questions. Then I am making sure that those from those 30 questions, there are only 27 questions are correct, only 3 questions are wrong. You still get good marks. And day by day, when you increase your efficiency and accuracy, you're able to reach your scores. It's easier that way. No one is going to be perfect in one day. You have to practice it slow by slow, like step by step, and be patient about it. Like you cannot like Rome wasn't built in one day, same like that. So that's how I managed my time. And as I said, in writing, I used to write from A1 every day. So I liked writing anyways. Even while practicing for TCF, I used to write all 3 sections every day. So it was fun. Eventually, obviously, I got tired because there were no new topics remaining to write on, because you sometimes see the repetition in TCF that yes, they have same topics. But yeah, if you feel like that you want to write about something else by yourself, why not give it a try your, like just give it a just give it a try to write something else. In that way also, you're doing writing practice anyways, so that's a good idea.
Okay, when you said time, I laugh because it reminded me of your writing, because it wasn't like it was not a normal problem. It was the other way around. Like you wrote in 1 hour, like 1 hour is the time limit, and in 1 hour you would write too many words.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, because before giving TCF, I also gave DELF, as you know.
Yeah.
And in DELF, they ask you to write 250 to 300 words. So I had that habit of writing 300 words from first. So it was very difficult for me to do a pressy writing for myself. So I had the speed, but just because of the speed, I was making silly mistakes. I was able to write 300 words for sure in 1 hour and all, because of the practice, but I was still making silly mistakes. So later on, after making sure that whatever I'm writing correctly, I was able to write less number of words. And in exam, thank God, I wrote less. And I was able to make lesser mistakes eventually. But yeah, for that, you helped me a lot, because you used to tell me इतना सारा लिखने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, थोड़ा छोटा कर दो. Like obviously, you when you are writing, you repeat certain sentences, just write it in another way, but you can combine them because you know enough verbs at that end, you know enough vocabulary to concise it in one word, and you know enough grammar to just concise it in that way. So it was easier by the end of TCF exam that I was able to manage to write lesser words.
Okay, you also finished all of your learning journey, TCF journey, I'd say, in much lesser time. So what were the specific challenges of doing it early?
The biggest challenge was the pressure of completing it in as early as possible, because my motto was to go back to Canada as early as possible, because obviously I was thinking in a sense that I want my career to be on its path again. I loved my job, I had to give up all those things, and then with those pressure, I had to make sure that I'm doing it correctly in one go. I don't want to repeat my test and all those things. Apart from daily studies, these are the all pressures which made it difficult, of course. But then I had this conversation with Aarti ma'am, and she was saying daily that you are the person on whom I have faith that you can do the B2 in 6 months. I wasn't believing myself that much, and she had more faith in me than I had my on myself. She was the only one who pushed me to give B2 in 6 months. And at that day, I was thinking in my head, she's teacher, she's teaching like lots of students past many years, right? Like 10 years, 11 years, right? So she knows each and every's efficiency, each and every's way of coping up. So I was thinking at that time that she knows me well than I do at this point, because she has seen my growth. Because I wouldn't realize what is my growth. I don't know French language, period. I'm just learning it because I'm being taught that way. And my motto is just to learn it. That's it. I'm not keeping track of my progress at that level, which was not good because I wasn't able to motivate myself. But at least at that point, when she said that I know that you can do it, even that small, like small line helped me to give P2 exam, and I cleared it in one go, which was like crazy because lots of people take 1 year to do B2, and still they are not able to clear DELF, because DELF B2 is um, they are going to score you less no matter how hard you try. They are going to judge you like hardcore, even if you have spent lots of months or lots of time behind it. And clearing it in 6 months gave me that push. Oh yeah, I can clear TCF, because TCF is just you have to follow a newspaper style. That's it. They both are almost same, and that was the one of the reason why I chose TCF, because DELF and TCF are almost same. You have lots of similarity in the way they ask you questions. And Alliance Francaise only is the one who is going to take your TCF too. DELF and TCF both are taken by them. So it's going to be the same procedure, same teachers, and same methods. So it was like that um, comfort level was built already. So at that moment, I thought, okay, that motivational line helped me a lot. That I would rather prefer my mentor to guide me on myself rather than my own self, because I was crazy. So that's what I used to think. And yeah, that helped me. That was the best motivation.
Okay. Uh, a lot of students get stuck in ineffective ways of studying. My question to you is that did you get any ineffective ways of studying? And if you did, or even if you didn't, how to come out of these, how to realize that these are ineffective, and how to get out of there?
Yes, I did. It was the listening one, because to be frank, it was my biggest mistake that I did not start listening from A1. I still remember day one, and Aarti ma'am is telling, you have to listen. Even if you don't understand, listen. And I was like, okay, I'll start listening, but I wouldn't understand. So you're not motivated to listen to other audios. You feel bored, you don't enjoy it. And then you think that, oh, it's okay, let the audio play. I'll just keep on listening. And the passive listening is going on. But to be very frank, at the initial stages of French language, I would not advise anyone to do passive learning. First, just start with active one, because once you are done with the active one, you are already habituated with those words and vocabs and those methods. Then when you have extra time and you're doing passive methods, that's normal, that's okay, because at that stage you are already liking the French language, because now you understand it. So even when you think that you are cooking and listening to a French audio, that's passive way, but you are still able to grab the certain words, certain ideas of it. Even when you, let's say, when you watch a British series right now, British English series, you know English language, but British English is completely different and very difficult. You'll still need the subtitles when you're listening to them. But if you're listening to them passively, you'll still figure it out what is going on, what is the storyline, what is being communicated. You wouldn't know each and every word, but you'll still figure it out, because that's how you're listening to a passive British audio. Same way is the French. If you already know the French language and then you start listening to French passively, it's okay, because you already know the language now. You are understanding what they're trying to discuss. You may not know each and every vocab or each and every word. Even when you do reading, you may not know each and every word, but you'll be able to understand what the writer is telling you or what the speaker is telling you. That's okay. So first, don't be passive. have an active schedule, and eventually when you have extra time and when you are good at the language, like decent amount of good you have that hold of the French language, you can start doing passive way. The second would be, you have to write every day. I know you will not like it. A French language can be tricky with those accent, of course, but those spellings also make a difference. So it's necessary that you write every day. Even if you write, let's say, 4 lines, that's okay. You need to do it, because at the time of at exam time, you also have the pressure of timing and being as accurate as you can. So those pressure builds up, and you're not able to complete your paper on time. And in haste, when you write, you make mistakes. So instead of panicking at the end moment, why not have a writing schedule from the first and practicing every day? Then some people are like, they don't like listening, so they would avoid listening. Some people like, they don't like reading, so they would avoid reading. And at the end, they will realize, oh, I only have 1 month, and now I don't like reading at all. How will I score? And they would prefer to score the minimum amount of marks which is required. And that's okay if you are they are just hoping that, yeah, you are going to clear it only with the minimum amount, but it's a biggest risk you are taking, because obviously this tests are not as easy as you think of. They are going to test your patience even at that moment, after giving DELF examination, or let's say after scoring good marks even in DELF P2. It's completely different. So the one section which you don't like, I would tell that you practice every day. Eventually you'll like it. It will become your habit. Even if you won't like it, you'll do it anyways. So don't procrastinate, and don't be passive in your methods. Just be active as much as you can. That's what it is. Like, being focused for only 1 hour or 2 hour makes huge difference. That's it.
Okay. One question that I recently got from one student, because you learned very quickly, I would say. How did you manage to, speak at the B2 level? Because what happens is, when you fast forward your learning, reading and listening might be managed. Okay, reading and listening might be managed, even writing, but speaking does not come, because it does not come naturally to new learners. So how did you bring your speaking to the same pace?
So, as I said, that you need to do 4 sections daily. So, if even if you are great at reading, listening, writing, at the exam, you're going to be also judged for your speaking. So, I also used to practice speaking every day. Even if I don't have extra class with anyone, I would ask my peers, let's practice this. Even if it's like 15 minutes, practice for 15 minutes. It's okay. Make mistakes. That other person or that peer will tell you that you are making this pronunciation mistake. He might be able to grab certain grammatical mistakes, or she might be able to grab certain grammatical mistake. You're learning at that point. Then you're listening to your audio, and you're recording those sessions, and then you're listening to your audios. From those audios also, you can figure out where you're making your mistakes by yourself. So when we used to practice, like in your classes, Vibha ma'am, so used to record audio every time in speaking. I would say that not all students will listen to those audio, but which is the biggest mistake we do. But it is necessary to listen to those audios and learn that where you are making those mistakes, so that you can correct it the next day. Because in speaking, it's more like, it's okay when you are starting to learn the speaking section. It's okay you make mistake. Everyone does. Even French people do right now. It's very normal. It's a human mistake. But keep making the same mistake now and then is the biggest issue you need to solve. For that, you need to listen to audios, your own audios, what you have spoken. You have to listen what other person are advising you, at least the person who knows French more than you. Make sure that you're practicing with your peers, because by practicing with your peers, you are able to get new ideas. You may be able to learn new vocab also. It's very easy way to learn new vocab from your peers. Then you can also make sure that you are standing in front of mirror and learning, like doing speaking. I used to do that. I never used to listen the audios, because I didn't like to listen my own voice, because some people who find it irritating or weird when you are listening your own audio. So I used to rather practice in front of mirror, and I was able to figure out like where my lips are going, where my pronunciations are going. I still remember that I used to make one word mistake every time in my speaking. And at the end of the day, I used to just practice that particular word in front of mirror, that why I cannot why I'm not able to pronounce that easy word like person. Person is the easiest word anyone could pronounce in one way, like in one go. But I used to find difficulty while I'm saying French language and speaking in French language, and that particular word will make a huge problem for myself. So for speaking, yes, it's difficult, but for that you have to practice every day. Even in front of mirror is okay, but practice, that's it. And try to find someone else who can speak French. Even those apps like Duolingo or whatsoever can also help you out. Not in a bigger sense, but somewhere, some around, it will help you. That's what I would say.
So the exam day, it could feel very overwhelming for a lot of students. I know for for you as well, it was overwhelming. So how to manage that?
Take deep breaths. That's what I did. That's what I was advised to on phone calls. That take deep breaths, and it's okay if you are not able. Just, you don't have to be perfect. Just enjoy it. That's what I was advised, and I was able to do that. That I'm enjoying the whole examination. That made a huge difference. Like, if you have already invested enough, you just have to stop self doubting, and you just have to be motivated in a sense that it's okay, I know it, I have done it already, it's just a normal test day, but they are just checking that how much I've learned. Just tell yourself it is normal, just go. Getting even like small anxiety is okay. You are human being, you're supposed to feel anxious. If you're feeling anxious, you are alive. If you're not feeling anxious, that is questionable. So it's normal, just accept that feeling, and then say to yourself, it's okay, I have invested enough months. I believe myself that I know I have done it. I've done it before in my practices. It is just a normal day and different place. That's it. And to be very frank, the place where I gave it, it was also very warming. The people over there are quite helpful. If you have any issue, if you have any problem, if you need questions, they help you out. You just have to be patient and act as an ordinary scenario where you have just gone for your boards. Let's say you're yes, for boards you feel that anxious and nervous and all. But as soon as you'll see the paper, you'll realize, oh, I have already done this before, I can do it. Your reflexes get heightened up, and you're just focusing on your test, and you don't know what is happening around you. It's okay that other people are feeling otherwise than you are. Don't focus on other people, just be just be yourself, and be remember that what you have done. Other people will discuss that what they have done, from how many how much long they have taken, and from how many months they have studied. Don't self doubt yourself at that point. Your story is different than them. They have studied different in a different scenario with different teachers. They are not in your same shoe. Yes, scenario is same, that you are in the same exam hall, but your methods of investing hours or investing your efforts in the French language is completely different than theirs. So stop. First of all, stop comparing yourself with other people who are giving exam at the same day. Second, just accept what your nervousness or anxiety you are feeling. That's okay. But at the same moment, tell yourself that, okay, I have learned this, I have practiced enough, and believe and faith, those are the two things which are going to help you out to clear the exam. Panic is the least thing you have to do at that day, because I did a mistake when I panicked. When I panic, I do crazy silly mistakes and end up getting low marks, where I can literally score about 600, of course, and I end up getting 400 or 400 and something around those marks. And I feel that, and when I see my mistakes, I feel like I am silly. Just because I panicked, I didn't figure out what that easy answer was. So, my advice to you, don't panic. Just be normal. It's okay to feel anxious. It's normal. You are human being, and just be focused on your test, because your reflexes, believe you me, will heighten up by themselves. It's normal human behavior, because when you are giving examination, those reflexes get focused at that day by themselves, because in your subconscious mind you know that you have to do it. You already have given yourself that much pressure for 11 months, or let's say 12 months, or for the time being. So it's normal. Just go it that way, and take deep breath when you are panicking, or maybe call Vibha ma'am. That's what I did.
Yeah, yeah, you can always call me.
Yeah.
That is possible. I wanted to know, some people Not some people, I would say some students, they want to learn French very quickly because they're on a timeline, or they don't want to spend so much time in learning a language which they might not use later. So how did you go about it? I know you learned quicker than most many other students.
To be very frank, when I started French, I was also one of those people who wanted to learn French in 3 months. But eventually, I realized it's not easy. Even if you'll invest, let's say, 5 hours of yourself in French language, there is a high possibility you'll end up turned exhausted. So even if you have learned B2 level French in, let's say, 4 months, it's very difficult to stay habituated and focused for that long after being pressurized, and then you have to give that TCF examination pressure situation. At that point it might be difficult to clear it. So it's like, rather than that, I would say go it in a step by step process, because to be very sure, to be very frank, your mentor knows how the processes work. They have taught lots of students, they have seen lots of efficiency. That's why I said that when my ma'am said that I have more efficiency than others and I had faith in that particular line, this is the reason why, because they have dealt with each and every kind of student. They know it, how what your efficiency stands at that moment. If you'll force learn yourself, you won't end up learning anything. It's impossible, it will get impossible. And day by day, when you're investing, let's say, 5 hours just because for the sake of learning it, when I said that initially, when I was learning it, I was just learning it by force. But eventually, when I made it a point that it's going to be advantageous for me, that's where I started explaining myself. It's okay if I take 5 months, but I'll do it at as accurate as much possible, because now I'm learning a language and I want to make a point that I'm going to use it. I get it. Some people find it useless, but for frankly speaking, when I gave like when I was asked to give DELF examination, like people like me who just want to learn French right now just to go back to the countries they were in, I get it that you don't want to give DELF or you don't want to give any other examination. But to be very frank, after giving those examination, I realized they were the first stage of realizing that how the examinations are taken. It was way better. And even if it took 6 months, it was like I was able to cope up on the day of TCF. I knew it that how those scenario works, and I was able to clear it very easily in less number of months. If you're just doing the sake of doing it and completing in 3 months, you're not able to get anywhere. And believe you me, you won't learn language even if you'll score good marks in TCF. After that, what? Why you are investing this much amount, like this much amount of money in it? Me personally thinks that if you're investing in something, do it completely or don't do it. I'm an extremist like that. Like, if you are doing it, do completely, don't do it at all. Just for the sake of it is not a good idea, because then you are going to uh, not value your skill also. You are doing um, you are not doing justice to the whole number of people who are involved in that situation also. That's personal view, but I would say that that view also helped me to clear it sooner, because you need to have a reason for doing something. That's it. And then maybe you'll be able to do it in 6 months or 7 months. Why not? But at least you know, just because you want to do it in 3 months, you won't be able to do it. It's not a like you want to learn just a basic of it. You need to have to clear that level which French people themselves are speaking from their childhood. So it's not a small thing.
Okay, so follow up. Sometimes, as a teacher, I get asked by some students if I have a sample structure that they could follow, or, some patterns to follow. I personally do not like it, but what are your ideas on it?
So, like patterns in a sense that
Yes,
how to learn.
no, no. Like, for writing section, for example, structure to follow. Like, after this line, I'll write this line. Like,
That's a crazy question. Thank goodness I never asked. But yeah, see, the best example I would give to that student is that when you read a book, I hope he or she does, and if he or she does not, he might or she might be reading a newspaper, let's say. All reporters don't write same way. They have their own patterns, they have their own vocab, they have their own efficiency, and they have their own mastery and expertise. In the same way, when you read every day or write every day, that will come up by that. You'll get your idea flowing in that pattern. You don't need to learn or mug up any patterns in writing or reading. It's not a correct way, because this is not some mathematic or scientific formula that you will be able to apply everywhere, because the topics are different. You are supposed to flow in that topic accordingly. You're not going to write anything related to science in a psychological question. You're not able to mug up that scientific method in that psychological questions. So it's necessary that you have your own strategy and pattern, because that way you'll be able to expertise it very easily, because it's your own. You're not going to judge, or anyone is not going to judge your writing either. You're only being judged for your grammar. You're not going to be judged for your what you're thinking or what you're writing. So that pattern does not matter. The only pattern like matters is what is your grammar, what is your B2 level efficiency, what is your vocabulary, and that's it. You can have your own idea. And for that, that is the reason why you need to read every day. You need to write every day, because it will come by yourself. You cannot copy anyone's pattern. No writer does. There are lots of people who don't like certain writers. Like there are lots of people who love J.K. Rowling, and there are lots of people who don't like J.K. Rowling, because she has her own pattern of writing, right? So every author has different patterns. So you yourself are the author in your exam. Then why not have your own pattern?
What would be your top advice for test takers, TCF or DELF? You can separate them also.
Okay, for DELF especially, DELF is easy exam, but it's not easy to score. Well, TCF is like it reflects to be difficult exam because it is under time pressure and all, but it's easier to score than DELF. So for DELF, I would say Cosmopolitan is the best part. Practice Cosmopolitan every day. Whatever your mentor is teaching you, follow that process every day. Don't just focus like each and every that also that comes up. There was one peer who asked me a question that my mentor is not teaching me grammar right now, and he or she is just teaching me lessons. Every mentor has different methods of teaching. You don't have to worry on how they are not teaching you. Just wait, be patient till A1 and A2. If you even after that you realize okay अगर मैंने grammar सीखा ही नहीं, then you can raise the question. Just trust the process, because DELF is like that only. You have to learn cosmopolitan way. Grammar will come eventually, because when you're reading, you're also knowing the grammar in it, because in reading the grammar comes with it. And for TCF, I would say that be focused, do active listening, do active reading with a time constraint, because in TCF it is just about time and accuracy. That's it. After learning B2, after giving DELF, TCF is just about playing your numbers and how to score, how to make your own strategy that you can score minimum as much as you want. That's it. Focus and stop panicking and make your own strategy. Don't rely on anyone else, because that does not take you anywhere, because everyone has different methods of learning, even mentors, even students. Just try to make your own way of clearing it. Both DELF and TCF, yeah.
Okay, I want now to talk about La Foret's role in your journey. So, talk about your mentors, the study material, anything that you want to talk about for now.
So, yes, as I said, La Foret was the best choice I ever made, because they were not only helping me in my studies. Because, as I said, when I was panicking, I used to call ma'am, like I'm panicking. I don't know what am I doing. I'm not having faith on myself. And Narthi ma'am is like, I know you'll able to do it, and I'm just trusting her faith and just going and giving the exam. So that was the best decision I made. And then at the TCF examination, I'm panicking because I wasn't able to complete my reading section, and I'm calling Vibha ma'am and crying about it that I'm not able to complete my reading section and I'm having a bad day. And she's like, it's okay, it's normal, you have writing test, focus on that. So they were not only helping me out in my studies, they were also making sure that I'm motivated for what efforts I'm putting in. You don't get these things every day at this stage. You don't find each and every mentor helping you out in this 21st century with your motivation and your focus too. It's not easy. Very like frankly, there are lots of teachers who will be like, it's not my duty. My duty is just to teach you. Where at La Forêt, it was completely different. Other than that, they also gave me an option to visit the class and use other materials. Like they had books, which helped me to do the reading methods, and I also able to came to know the infrastructure and all the history related to France and Paris, because they have the books about that. So if you like reading, just visit it, and you can have the access to the books and make it more your method and more interesting way of learning the French language. And then with Kavita ma'am, I would say I used to have fun classes. It was just like 20 minutes class, and we were just discussing our daily problem in French. One day I remember we were just discussing about Amazon delivery in French. There was no like there is no not in TCF, neither in DELF. They're not going to ask you about Amazon delivery. But we were just talking about Amazon delivery in French, and it was fun class. So it was more like learning from one another than just having a boring 20 minutes class. So this is what I loved much about Lafayette, that they are more friendly than other places. And that was the main reason I selected it. And I thank you for that, of course, for picking up my call, even at the like after hours or maybe at even examination, because not everyone does that. It's very difficult. And thank you for motivating me every day that I can do it, and I did. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Well, I would say that it was mostly you.
That's
I
not
just
true.
I just said what you wanted to heard in the moment. That
But that's what I'm saying, that not everyone does that because they feel it's not my duty. It's very difficult to find that in 21st century. It's very difficult. Even your friends wouldn't do it sometimes.
well.
Yeah.
So talk about the resources provided by our team, the mock tests or the books or the videos, anything which La Fore provided which helped you. Also, you can name specific things here, the links, the websites or YouTube channels that you liked.
Yeah, the best one was live sessions. I hate to wake up in morning early. Just don't like it. That's my problem. But I was pushed by my mentors just to wake up and attend the grammar live sessions, and they were the best. They were open for everyone. Even if you're at A1 level, even if you're at B2 level, you are just practicing your grammar. As I said, when you learn A1, it's not necessary that you perfect in one go. That A1 grammar is going to be used even at B2, that B1 grammar is going to be used at B2, and so on. You're going to use it everywhere. So those live sessions were best. Even if I didn't like to wake up in the morning, they were good because then you are having an interactive messages with the students, that you have to make your own sentences. Then you get ideas. Oh, this sentence is more like this sentence is better than the other person than I did. So you're learning that way. So that was best, that you are having interactive YouTube language like lessons. Then, obviously, as I said, reading materials. When I used to visit classes, you used to lend me the books. So they were at least interesting, because sometimes cosmopolitan lessons are not that interesting. They are boring. We both know that they are boring, and sometimes they are like awful. You don't like to read it, which is like normal. So that was again against the normal method. Then third was when TCF examination was nearer, I used to ask that can we practice every day, even if I knew that I was able to clear the speaking section very easily. I used to practice every day. At the end of the moment, we were like, we both knew that who is going to give what answer in second
Yeah.
section. I knew that what you are going to ask me, and you already knew that what I'm going to answer.
Yeah.
So those things, it's even in learning, it's a two-way process. When you have great interaction and communication with your teacher, it's easier to achieve your goal than just fighting with your own thoughts. I used to communicate with Aarti ma'am from day one, that what issues I'm having. So that way she was able to understand that where my efficiency lies, or where my obstacles lies, or where how I would like to learn. So she was able to give me strategies accordingly. So I would say that it's necessary that you communicate your problem with your mentor, because then only they'll understand. No one will know you like right away. Those people are doing their job. You are the person who will have to communicate and let them know that what problems you are having. So that's what I used to do. And Lab for the people are very much active. Not only just Vibha ma'am or Kavita ma'am or Aarti ma'am, even Saurabh. Let's say I'm calling him anytime. I'm just texting him that can you call me whenever you are free, and he'll call you right away when he has time, and he'll fix schedules according to both the people, both the parties' availability. it is not easy for his part also. It's not easy because he also has to deal with lots of students. It's not easy for everyone to manage according to their timetable, but at least they are going to do it because they see that you have that potential, or you are showing that interest. That's what I would say all students, that even learning language, you cannot expect your teacher just to teach you and then you know in 3 months. It has to be like you also have to put your efforts in it. It's two-way process. That's what I would say, that make sure that you just don't rely on your teacher. Even when you were student, like even when you were in school, going school, you were supposed to do your homework, you were supposed to be present in your class, you were not supposed to sleep in your class and then expect that you will clear your 10th grade or 12th grade. So same way it's here. Even at 25 years of age, or at 30 years, you are supposed to be, if you are a student, you are supposed to be a student. You have to invest yourself as much as they are. Because let's say I wasn't investing, and I was not communicating, you'll also do your job and just be with it because you know that I'm not interested. Then why you'll put your efforts? If you are putting your efforts, then the other person will. That's what I feel. Yeah.
Okay. When you're talking about students, I want you to say the importance of regularity, importance of doing your homework, because I keep saying it, but
Yeah.
it's better to hear from a student's mouth who has cleared the exam.
Yeah. So when as I said, I was hell bound that I want to clear this as soon as possible. Like other people, even I wanted to clear it in 6 months, or let's say I also wanted to clear it in 4 months, or as soon as possible. But when if you want to do that, then you have to remember that person is asking you to make you do certain exercises or practice in certain way. You are supposed to do it compulsorily, otherwise you won't be able to achieve your 3 months or 4 months goal. Like you should just give it up. Because that's what I said, right? When your mentor knows that they have dealt with thousands of students, they know each and every's mentality and efficiency because they came with a practice. So if you want practice, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to be regular. You cannot be like, अरे चलो, it's okay, आज नहीं करना. A1 A2 लेवल पे तो you cannot do that. It's impossible. Because अगर एक बार छूट गया, मतलब गया. Because I wouldn't lie, at every level I used to feel I don't want to do French. A1 लेवल हो गया, A2 पे आया, अरे फर्स्ट कैस्मोपोलिट का चैप्टर लगा, मेरे से नहीं होगा, मेरे को नहीं आता. B1 हुआ, B1 पे फर्स्ट चैप्टर कॉस्मोपोलिट, आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड अ वर्ड. एंड देन आई यूज्ड टू थिंक एट फर्स्ट लेसन that I used to say the same lines when I started A2. When I was doing B2 first chapter, I used to think I used to say same line at B1. So eventually, like if you give a month, let's say, you will understand everything as a first time. You don't know it from first. So that's why regularity is necessary and focus is first thing, because otherwise you are not able to clear it. It's a hard truth, but it's the truth. You have to be regular in it.
Okay. About the communication that you said, that everything that you feel you could communicate with your mentor, your teacher. So I feel like some students who are online, basically, they might feel that we are not connected enough. Like with my online students, with some I feel connected, who talk to me during the session, and who say a few extra things. But for other students who just come to class, answer the questions and go away, so how could they feel, they be more connected with their teacher, so as to, so as the teacher could guide them better?
So let's say those other people are not just communicating with you, sorry, because they feel shy in front of other people. It's okay if they'll text you. I'm 100% sure, not in 1 hour, but at least in next 24 hours, she is going to reply you. Everyone does. Like you are the teacher, you are doing your job, so you're supposed to. As a mentor, you'll reply them. So you can text them or maybe call them. If ask for a call, of course. If they're busy, just ask for a call and maybe tell what difficulties you are facing. I get it. In group classes, some people find difficulty in communicating in front of everyone. Lots of people does, and they don't interact with other people. And if it's the scenario, you can communicate this thing with your mentor. Because I remember when I started with Aarti ma'am, there were lots of students. I wasn't the only one because I started group initially because I was out of India, right? At that time, even Aarti ma'am was like yelling at everyone, please involve yourself, please involve yourself. But then also, at certain point, as a human being, it's her break even point. How many times she'll involve you? Then it's you who have to take first step. Everything as a first chance, then why not give it right now? You have made a decision that you have to clear it, then you have to put efforts. Nothing is going to happen if you just sit there. I don't know the exact saying, but actions speak louder than words, right? So if you'll act with your problems, then only they'll understand, and then only you'll be able to find the solution. You are just sitting there and then complaining कि मेरी मैम मेरे को नहीं जवाब दे रही है, उनको पता ही नहीं कि तुम्हें प्रॉब्लम कहाँ है, तो जवाब कैसे देंगे? It's more like that. So you have to communicate. Maybe separately initially, it's okay. They won't deny it. That's what I was saying. That even if you'll text Saurabh anytime, it at IST time he'll reply. It's not like he'll ghost you. He's not your boyfriend or he's ghosting you or you're going on a date and that's why he's ghosting you. He'll reply at his
Yeah.
pace, but he'll reply.
Yeah, I mean, just because you said boyfriend, I got reminded. I do tell my students that, it is learning French is going to be like having a relationship. You have to be
Yeah,
involved in this relationship.
completely. Yeah.
But at the same time, I do feel like sometimes I do feel like a girlfriend whose boyfriend has just, given up on the relationship. I feel like
Because you're motivating them, so I get it.
yeah, and it's yeah, sometimes the students they don't react.
Yeah.
Maybe because they don't understand what I'm telling them. It is real.
It's okay. Just
Yeah.
laugh it out and just move on. I would say on that
No,
part.
this is just something that I got reminded of. Nothing to be done about it. It's just that I do feel like it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand why you are saying that because I get it. I had same conversation with some peer and I understood.
I want to know about specific YouTube channels or name of some podcasts or some websites where you read a few things.
Yeah, so Google is the best one. Just right there and they'll give you like 150 or 100 of options. Me personally, I used to use French 101 or that Coffee Break French for initial stages because those are very easy. Coffee Break French is the best one. This was guided by Aarti ma'am to me. So it was a best one because they give you conversation audios and all. Later on, I asked Vibha ma'am regarding Arte, and Arte is the I get it that at first you'll feel boring because they have politic discussion and they have like brainstorming scenarios between the political parties or the environmental parties or something like that. Then there are videos and audios concerning the daily problems of life. Initially, for sure, it was difficult for me. I wasn't able to understand a word even at B1 level, which was quite overwhelming. But then I realized that if you listen to that videos, whatever or videos and audios every day, at 15th day, you'll understand what they're saying because your ear is used to it. That's why I said that Rome isn't built in one day. That you listen to that audio, whatever or video, whatever you like, even watch series. I was suggested Lou. Lou is the best series. It's funny. It's like 12 minute series, but it's very funny. And I'm watching that every day, and now I'm realizing, oh, I learned a lot of slang, French slang, which you wouldn't use easily in TCF speaking, but at least you know French slang if you want to use it later on. And other than that, if you'll write anything on YouTube, you'll have lot other options in your suggestions. Just keep on exploring and find out what you are liking, I would say. Like whether it's like, let's say you are liking scientific videos, why not watch for scientific videos in French? So there was a student who said that he likes Office. So if you like Office or let's say Suits or those series, if you like it and you have already watched them, why not watch them again in French? It's going to help you out anyway. So just try, give it a shot, give it a hit concerning the topics you like initially. Then like expand your topics so that whenever you are asked and related any topics in your speaking, you can answer them, because then you are just saying in a normal flow your thoughts and they wouldn't even realize if you made a mistake, because when you are as confident and normal, your grammar mistakes wouldn't be caught easily by them. So that they'll give you a go on it and it's really easy to score in that way. That's what I did. Not that I did not make mistake. Yes, I did make mistake and then I was overthinking about those mistakes, but then I realized that if you keep the flow and be confident, it doesn't affect you that much, because then they know that you are just making human errors. You know the language, so they'll judge you accordingly. They are also human being. They understand that normal mistakes are normal, as like that, even in DELF also and in TCF also. Doesn't matter that which examination you are giving.
So just before we wrap up, it's a little educative session about the TCF language. TCF is an exam widely known for its academic purpose and the immigration purpose. It has four parts: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. At La Forêt, we have classes specifically for these exams and French in general. So whoever wants to appear in these exams, it's a good idea to learn from us, because as you see, we have been able to form a very good strategy recently, with which we are able to guide students on how to clear it in the first go. That's our try, but there are specific tips and tricks which you can learn with us. We also have a focus that our students, they not only learn the specific exam specific tips, but they develop, create their communication levels, communication skills in French as well. Back to Janvi. Now that you have cleared the TCF exam, how do you feel? I know that you just came back from a nice trip.
Oh yeah, because as I mentioned, like I used to share a lot of things with Vibha ma'am that I love traveling and all. So after investing my 11 months in it and not doing anything else but French, maybe working somewhere and that's it, working and just doing French. But other than that, after seeing my result, I was like, it was all worth it. Like I was able to realize that this whole experience was amazing. It was a roller coaster, of course, as I said earlier, but it was all worth it because when I see my result and when I put it for my immigration purposes, I feel proud of myself that I did it. I was able to do it. Maybe I had to push myself, other people also had to push me, but now when I communicate with a French, I have some French friends overseas, so when I speak with them in French, they also feel shocked and like proud of myself that you did it in one, like in this passage of time. It's incredible, like it's not easy and you did it. So when you hear those appreciation, you feel proud, and you feel that all those efforts were worth it. So that's what I feel right now, and I'm very happy that I will be able to achieve my goal now, and maybe even teach some people if they like to. Yes, for example, I would like to share this, that yesterday there was this family friend of mine who has a child in like third grade, but he is learning French. So he called me just to know the certain pronunciation. So I was feeling so proud that I've become a teacher now and I'm teaching a very young kid and helping him out in French pronunciation. So small achievements were like worth it. That's how I feel now.
No, well, TCF is big achievement. Now this achievement has it opened new doors for you and new opportunities.
Yeah. So with this TCF, I would be able to return to Canada with my immigration purposes. And other than that, I would say that yes, you wouldn't like to give DELF because you don't want to invest the money. But to be very frank, your DELF exam is going to help you in your immigration too. Because with the scenario right now, they're scrutinizing your TCF results too. So if you have, let's say, DELF certification and diploma, you can make it possible that you are showing them that yes, you actually know the language, and that DELF certification is going to help you maybe later become a French teacher. So that's your proof, or maybe even change, maybe even go Europe and have your career over there. So I would say that even if DELF decision was not pre-planned, but it was worth it. Like it was worth it because in a sense I can now use it. I can say that I have DELF now. I can teach people.
Thank you so much, Janvi, for sharing your journey with such clarity and honesty. I'm sure it is motivating for me to see you here right now, to see you at that time in the first session together. And now it is extremely motivating for me, and I'm sure for others as well. I am very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if I've said it to you before.
No.
Well, I am not just for this video, but I am very proud of you.
Oh.
And I'm sure that you are going to go places.
Oh yes, trips.
And I'm very excited to see where you end up.
Yes, of course. We'll
So,
be in touch.
of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me, though. It was an amazing experience.
And not just experience for like this, but in general, it was nice having you in class. When we have students who add to us, it is really worth it.
You also get motivated to teach. That's what I said, right? Like you, it is a two-way process. It's motivation giving one another.
At La Forêt, we are not just some French classes, we are a community of learners. Even our teachers, we learn every day. Connect with us, follow us on our Instagram, follow our live session, subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will get to not only see us but our students as well, who share their journey, who share their problems which you could relate to. Your friend journey deserves the right support, and we are right here for you.